Good day, everyone. This is Punk Needles, and welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Dracula.
Hey now, everybody, how's it going?
Hello there, Drac. How are the peasants treating you this week?
Not too bad. It's
Not
been
too
a week,
bad.
but not too bad.
Is the weather cooperating for a change?
Sort of, kind of. It's doing its, can't make up its mind what it wants to do. Is it going to rain? Is it going to snow? Is it going to be sunny? We don't know. It's going to be all of the above, probably in one day. So there's that.
It's rolling 20-sided dice every hour.
Pretty much, yes.
Then let's head into the game news, and we'll begin with the Hardcore League 2 information. Is coming out later this week, but if it's coming out later this week, why do you have information here?
Well, we're getting the start date later this week.
Okay.
We also know the name. Hardcore League Season 2, Trial by Fire.
Trial by Fire. This is not encouraging me to join.
And then if you go into the Hall of Heroes, where Mortality was, Eritrakos is there now. And
I heard rumors that was going to happen.
if you talk to him, you can actually see what the rewards are going to be.
Ooh.
The new rewards are as follows. For 1,750 favor, you get a Devil Bone Helm. For 5,000 favor, you get a Devil Bone Mount. For 10 Reaper points, you get a cloak. 20 Reaper points, you get the Crimson Dretch pet. And then at level 20, you also get the cloak as well. And I'm assuming the level 20 cloak is going to have the 2 on it instead of the 1 like it did last time, would be my guess.
Oh, you mean it's not a Devil Bone cloak?
No. I don't think so. I don't know. We actually haven't seen any of these things, but gosh darn it, SSG. I was probably going to ignore the Hardcore League this year, or this season, I should say. But Devil Bone Mount, gosh darn it, SSG.
Yes, but 5,000 favor?
But Devil Bone Mount, that just screams me.
Have I gotten 5,000 favor on all of my characters since I've been playing this game?
Probably not. What's your highest level character?
20? Well, maybe there's a 21 or 22, I guess.
It depends. You might be close. Yeah, you might be close to 5,000 total favor, but
Oh, yeah, but that requires you to do things in let's see, what's that? What's the third level of difficulty called?
elite.
It is called Elite. Oh, yeah, yes, Elite.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
you don't necessarily have to do stuff elite. You could run it at hard.
Yeah, but hard only gives you double. Elite gives you triple.
Well, yeah, you would get there quicker by doing elite, but in theory, you don't have to run elite to hit 5,000 favor. It'll just take you longer if you only do like normal or hard. Most people do, yes, run elite to get favor quicker. So yeah, but gosh darn it, SSG, you might have sucked me back into this hardcore season.
Oh, well.
The Devil Bone Mount. I mean, that just screams something I need, you know?
Yeah, it's... I don't know, that thing sort of sounds like a red skeleton's dude to me.
Probably. Yet another mount I will never get.
Yeah, I think that I would pass on the Bone Mountain.
I haven't totally decided yet, but I'm tempted. So tempted. We'll see.
We shall see.
But yeah, look for more news on Hardcore League coming, as we said, later in the week. But it is Trial by Fire is the name of the Hardcore League Season 2.
Then let us head into the DDO Chronicle, issue 370, where it looks like we've got an alchemist ready to throw something in your face.
I'm shocked.
Yes.
I am shocked there's an alchemist on the cover of the Chronicle. Who would have thought such a thing would have graced the cover of the Chronicle this week? But right now, everybody's raising their hand. Me. That's right. Update 45 Age of Alchemist is out. We did talk about that last week. So if you listen to the episode, you are up to date on that. We
I have a question about
Yeah.
the alchemist that's pictured here. He seems to be rather heavily armored for an alchemist.
That's probably light armor, I would think, medium armor.
Okay, so it's sort of
But technically, yeah, you would think they usually wear robes. So yeah. But that wouldn't have been as cool as the picture that's there. So they had to zhuzh it up, as it were.
yeah.
We do a
It looks like he's almost wearing. I don't know. One of his boots looks like it's a rune arm almost.
Yeah, kind of. It does. It's kind of a funky boot, but I like that armor though. I really do. That's kind of some cool armor.
All right.
Not sure what armor that is, but anyway. Community spotlights in our chronicle. Don't forget, if you're in the Boston area on Friday, February the 28th, our SVP for the community meetup. We did talk about that last week as well. That, of course, is during PAX East. Also, don't forget, Gen Con is coming up. And there is going to be, at this point, it is a player meetup. No word yet if SSG is going to officially host it, and as some SSG people are going to be there. So right now, it is a player meetup that is in the planning stages. So click over to the forum, check about what the plans are for that. If you're going to be at Gen Con or you're near Indy, it's always Friday nights of Gen Con. So if you're in and around Gen Con on Friday night, come to the, as it stands now, player meetup. Axel, over on his channel, has a informed rundown on Update 45 system changes. Click over and check out that video. Our fan site news section, we got a shout out for our episode last week about the Alchemist and more. Don't forget DDO stream. Lots of streamers over there. This week, Doug Glendower, it's easy for me to say, plays the most. Okay. Baklagor gets cold, and DDOPL expects a lot of gnomes. Apparently, Gnomageddon happened.
What, gnomes? Gnomes playing alchemists or something?
Probably, that would be my guess. I haven't actually watched that video yet, but yeah, I would assume it's a bunch of gnomes playing alchemists, probably. But
Well,
I'll have to watch
first
it.
of all, if you did watch DDOPO, would you be able to understand a word they're saying?
Nope, but I love watching it. Watch them every week.
Okay.
Can't understand a damn word they're saying. They are so fun to watch, though. So check it out if you want to watch people speaking Polish and maybe you understand it. If not, it's still fun to watch. Also, Twitch has a bunch of streamers as well. Antcot is celebrating Palentine's Day.
Palentine's Day?
No clue. Unless it's some crossover with Star Wars, I've got no clue. Geek
Yeah,
jokes.
well, I was thinking that at first, but then though that would have been Palpatine's Day or something.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I was wondering if it was a cross between President's Day and Valentine's Day.
Maybe? Sure. I figured you would know what it is because you know everything. So I just figured you would, right away, you would, consult the Pindopedia and you would rattle something off, but apparently not.
Easily rattled off.
But I like your President's Day, Valentine's Day crossover. All right, sure, it works. Cetus, Sorks, and Samus Garobo is getting the XPs. YouTube has a bunch of streamers and videos as well. Newbie Carabra previews the patch notes. Albar tells you how to solo the Shroud, and Force plays the Alchemist. I know we've said this before, but it is amazing how many people are making YouTube videos, are on Twitch, are on the official DDO stream. It's just amazing that people are still making videos and live streaming DDO after all these years. It's awesome to see.
Well, I've been known to occasionally do videos also, so.
You have, yes. You never make the Well, I think you did once or twice. Have to make sure that you get the Chronicle so you get those sweet views finally.
It goes up from 3 to 4.
The Chronicle, poor Piney. The Chronicle comment this week is, what is your favorite part of the anniversary event?
The anniversary event. That would be. You know what? I'm trying to remember what all is in the anniversary event. So it's hard to have a favorite part if you have trouble remembering what's in it. Because all I can remember to it is this anniversary dungeon where you go
Mm-hmm.
in and get killed.
Well, maybe. It depends. I figured that's probably in our future this week. I figured we'd run that at least once.
Okay.
Maybe. But my favorite part of the anniversary event is just all the in jokes that are a part of it. Because the whole thing, like, breaks the whole fourth wall. And it's like a total in joke. The whole dungeon, uh,
Oh, there
everything
is
in
that.
there. Yeah. So that's my favorite part of it. It's just all tongue in cheek. It's fun.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't take itself too
It
seriously.
does not. That is very, very true. Let's round out our chronicle with our screenshot of the week. That is Audemars prays for divine forgiveness at a hidden shrine in the 451st DDO screenshot of the week. And that is from Osserdort. Sure, why not? For sending in this week's screenshot. And I'm pretty sure I actually know where that is.
Oh?
I think that is the shrine that is hidden out in the Keep on the Borderlands adventure area. Almost positive that's the one. I've seen it like once. I found it by accident one time I was running around out there, so I'm pretty sure that's
Well, if it's hidden, that's
where that's
probably
at.
the way most people will find it.
Yes.
Then let's head into our sales for this week. Is there anything great, wonderful, and good on sale?
You can honor your guild with 20% off Astral Shards. Go buy them now. If you're going to buy Astral Shards, I always say wait till they're on sale. 25% off of those and Guild Renown Elixirs. 50% off the Guild Charters and the Guild Airship Beacons. That runs through February the 20th. The weekly coupon code gets you a free Enchanted Repair All Kit with the coupon code Free Repair. And that also conveniently runs through February 20th as well.
Then let's go and take a peek on what's coming in from the dungeon. Where we apparently have a 7-layered opaque rainbow limited D20 coming from Koplau Games.
It's rainbow, all right.
It's rainbow, all right?
It's blue and green and red and orange, and it kind of all mixes and swooshes together. It's kind of a cool looking dice. It's not $70 cool, though. Oh, excuse me, $75 cool. Yes, this is a collectible limited edition D20. It's 55 millimeters, so it's a little over 2 inches across, and is made with a unique process that they say creates layers of color within the dice itself. The die is big with easy to read numbering that is sequenced in the countdown format. This die will be produced in small quantities and is going to be limited to 250 pieces, and that is due to the complicated manufacturing process. Their words, not mine. Each die will come individually packaged and numbered and is going to retail for $75. I don't think I would spend $75 for a D20, but sure, whatever. Okay. I mean, to each their own, I guess. I mean, it is a cool looking dice, but yeesh, $75. Kaplow Games is going to be selling the 7-layered opaque rainbow countdown D20 die. Say that a couple times fast. At their booth at the New York Toy Fair and also the Gamma Expo in Reno, Nevada. And then if there is any left after that, they will have some on their website as well. But my guess is between those two, they are probably going to sell out since there are only 250 of them.
Yes, okay, now I see what it looks like, and it's
Spoiler alert.
it looks more like a candy.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, I kind of thought that, or I actually like candy, and I kind of seen like ice cream sherbet too, kind of. For some reason,
Those are sherbet colors.
yeah, it really reminded me of sherbet a lot for some reason when I first seen it. I'm like, they should have called it the Sherbet D20.
The Sherbet D20.
Just saying.
Let's go and find out what's on the tabletop. Then I will say it certainly is not going to be for me a $75 die.
Yeah, me neither.
But it looks like Godzilla is heading for the tabletop. Ooh, is he going to break the table?
I'm sure he will, because Godzilla does whatever Godzilla wants to do. And this, of course...
Jenga?
Yeah. Okay, this is just weird. But it's from the op, so go figure. The op has partnered with Toho International to bring 2 different Godzilla branded board games to your tabletop everywhere. First up is going to be Jenga Godzilla, and then Monopoly Godzilla.
Oh, shock. After last week we were saying they have Monopoly everything.
Yep. Now there is going to be a Monopoly Godzilla. But let's talk about the Jenga first. In Jenga Godzilla Extreme Edition, the King of Monsters is trying to destroy a Jenga tower. It features custom rules where players remove and replace blocks according to directives given, while random dice rolls threaten to bring the structure down quicker. Godzilla is on the march and blasting the tower with his radioactive breath as he moves closer. Okay.
In case you thought Jenga wasn't hard enough, right?
This is a little bit of a stretch to throw an IP on something, but okay, sure. Sure, why not? And then we have Monopoly Godzilla, the Monster Edition. Get ready to crush the competition in a monstrous twist on Monopoly. Players can buy, sell, and trade locations like Monster Island, Goro's Workshop in Kitakami Lake, as well as conquer the board with facilities and bases. Monopoly Godzilla is also going to come with custom sculptured tokens of Mothra Godzilla, King Ghidorah, and Mecha Godzilla. Okay. They had me at the Mothra token because I love Mothra, so...
Okay.
Okay, sure. As we said last week, not a big fan of Monopoly, but, this kind of piques my interest a little bit because I do love Godzilla. And I like Mothra, so I'm sure. Okay. Sounds like it's not as much of a stretch as the Jenga. I mean, come on. Are we really just going to start putting IPs on Jenga now? I mean...
Yeah, well, I suppose so.
I mean, we are talking about the op, though, so okay. Oh, dear.
Oh, well, yes. Godzilla will monopolize the world. Then also, Shadowed Paths expansion for the Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth is on the way.
Yeah, and I was kind of surprised they actually have an expansion out for this already, but can...
It's been a while, hasn't it?
I guess. Now that I think about it, it has been. Yeah, I guess it's been out for a couple. So yeah, it's about time for an expansion. This one is going to bring some familiar faces as well. Gandalf and Arwen are joining the game. Players are going to embark on more adventures in the Shadowed Pass. As I said, Gandalf and Arwen are coming to Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth game. The expansion also includes new enemies, new terrain, and new items, as well as unlocks an all-new campaign that is going to have 13 new scenarios. Is going to feature 5 hero miniatures, 25 enemy miniatures, 20 journey map tiles, terrain, items, and titles. Shadowed Pass is set to have a retail price of $79.99. It's going to be at your friendly local game store and online retailers in Q2 of this year.
I still haven't finished the first campaign.
Yeah, I haven't even started it yet, which I have to rectify soon because I keep seeing it on my shelf and I'm like, I really need to start playing that. And then I'm going to do that, and then other stuff happens and then I don't play it. But that
I
will
think,
happen
yeah.
soon.
Whenever I think, oh, I need to play some Lord of the Rings, I start playing Lotro.
Right. Well, of course you do. Why am I not shocked at this turn of events?
All right, let's head into our week in gaming and see what you've been up to.
Well, not a lot, unfortunately. I had one of them weird weeks when like all sorts of stuff was going on for me. I did manage to play some video games though. DDO, not one of them though.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like I said, it was a week. I did sit on my couch and play some Xbox One though, so that was fun. Started playing Red Dead Redemption 2. I am in the fourth mission, I think. If you're not familiar with Red Dead Redemption 2, it is set in the Old West. You play a cowboy that is part of a gang. You are being hunted by the Pinkerton detective agency and another rival gang. So you're doing all sorts of outlaw stuff. You have to be careful of what you do, though, because the more things that you do, your wanted level raises, and then more Pinkertons come after you, and also sheriffs, if you're in a town, will come after you, yada, yada, yada. So it's really cool. I like it. The graphics are amazing on the Xbox One. It looks pretty much realistic. It's almost like you're playing in a movie. Kind of a steep learning curve. It's the controls are a little wonky at first, but finally I get used to them. It's sort of hard too, but I'm enjoying it a lot. So we'll see how far I get. Hopefully I'll actually be able to finish it. But that is a Red Dead Redemption 2. And then also over on the Xbox One, I played The Walking Dead Season 1. That, of course, is the Telltale game. The story game where you have to make choices, and the choices that you make will affect the story. I'm trying to think, I played it on the PC, but I can't remember how far I got. I remembered some of it as I was playing. I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of remember this. But then there was other parts of it. I'm like, well, I finished season 1, chapter 1 totally. And I remembered most of that. And then I started the first part of season 1, chapter 2. Didn't remember any of that. So I'm like, apparently this is where I stopped playing on the PC back in the day. So that was kind of fun. And that's really all I did game-wise. Did do some videos for the site, which we'll be releasing this week. A couple unboxings and stuff, so stay tuned for that over on DDO Players. But other than that, that's about all I did. So how about you, Pinely?
I'll start out with DDO, of course, where I started my Human Alchemist. And when I started playing, I was watching a video at the time, so I thought, all right, while I'm watching the video, I will do the setup and all that stuff while I'm on the airship. And oh well, since I'm waiting a couple more minutes, let me roll the daily dice. So I rolled the daily dice on this new character that's still on the airship and
Okay.
hasn't talked to the NPC yet. And for some reason, I even clicked on the dice. And I just learned what happens if you click on the dice. Because when I went to talk to the NPC finally, she says, something's wrong.
Okay.
Wrong?
Something's wrong.
Yes.
And that
Right.
something would be?
Well, she wasn't expecting somebody with experience points.
Oh, gotcha.
So
I
she
thought
was
you just rolled, but you actually ate your Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I ate the XP. Yeah, so
Oh,
she's
okay.
like, get there. I have, and because a gold was also included in there, that means I had about 3 bubbles.
And depending when you did it, it was daily dice rolls too, so you got double your
Right.
experience
Yeah.
on that
I
too.
think
So yeah.
most of it probably came from the weekly.
Okay, yeah.
So she was thoroughly confused because she was expecting someone without an EXP on there. And she said, all right, you said you got two choices there. I said, maybe something went wrong after on a veteran character or something like this. I could either send you to the marketplace or you could re-roll your character.
Really?
Those are pretty much, yeah, you can't take any of your choices because none of the other choices were available. So it's either send you to the marketplace or re-roll your characters,
Yeah,
essentially.
I never thought about doing that before, actually rolling before I talked to her, but okay, I guess we now know what happens.
Yeah. So
Huh.
so I decided, all right, just because I'm curious about what happens here, I got sent to the market. I chose let's get sent to the marketplace and see what happens in there. And I went over there. So now I'm in the marketplace, and since I didn't run the grotto, since that's where she normally sends me is to run the grotto,
Yep.
I now have absolutely no equipment
Oh, wow.
here in the marketplace,
Wow. Okay.
and wondering, all right, how am I going to do the first quest in the Borderlands now? Well, fortunately, because I rolled the daily dice, it was fortunate that I had rolls that actually gave you some platinum, because sometimes when you get rolled, if you get some of the high numbers for some of the buffs or something like this, you don't get any money out of it. You just get
Right.
those buffs or whatever. But I must have had at least one roll that awarded platinum because I had plenty of money on the character as a result of the daily dice there. So I went to the brokers, and while at the broker, I was able to find a set of okay, I was supposed to say a set of armor, but actually it was an outfit. And outfits aren't normally. I know outfits are more suited for monks than they are for wizards, but I had to get something. I bought a dagger and an orb.
Hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Right. Which actually the dagger I think looked like it was something reasonable for a wizard, and well, orbs of course are going to be reasonable for wizards no matter what.
Yep.
So I figured, okay, it could work for an alchemist too. So I put this all on. Remember, this is for a class that I've never played before. So I then went into the Hall of Heroes, got sent to the Borderlands, and arrived at the keep there. Now, I suppose I could have gone straight to the Borderlands and bought some basic gear at the Borderlands, but I think I got some pretty decent gear at the brokers. So I don't think it was too bad because the brokers have something that I think usually have stuff that someone thought was a good place to vendor it off. Even I don't know 100% sure what the rules related is, what the advantage are of selling stuff to the brokers are.
You get possibly a little more money. It depends on your hackle skill.
Okay, so you might get a little bit more.
You will get more money for selling the stuff.
All right. That sounds like because that's the only advantage I could think of possibly because there has to be some sort of incentive to want to sell it to the broker because the brokers don't work very well if no one sells anything to them.
Right, and plus you're helping other people out too because they
And
can go
helping out other people out
go
too.
go to the brokers and buy the stuff.
Yeah.
Hence, how you got some stuff from the brokers. So yeah.
Right. So I could thank whoever sold this low level stuff to the broker for helping me out there because there were a couple items that were usable that were designed for level 1 players. I can only imagine that that stuff must have come from some playing Keep on Borderlands because there is no way that stuff could have come from Korthos. So I had this little stuff in there. Then I went over to the Borderlands and ran Watch Your Step, Treasure Hunt, and Violent Delights. Watch Your Step went, well, mostly it went fine. I think this is the first time, though, where I fell into the trap. So I learned what happens when you fall into the trap. And apparently it drops you into a room that you sometimes go into optionally anyway. It's just that you go there a little bit faster than you're expecting, so to speak. So I went in there, I finished Watch Your Step, then I did Treasure Hunt and had no. Well, that Minotaur was a little bit tricky because I am on an alchemist here. I really didn't have good healing because remember I always start out with see how well I can do without a hireling. So in Treasure Hunt, that boss fight, I was very, very careful in how I did it. And in fact, just in case that Minotaur did kill me, I tried to lure him over to near the res shrine so that if I did get killed, I could hit the res shrine and get back up. But I finished that without dying. And then I came into Violent Delights, and all I can say there is boss fight and Violent Delights is murderous,
It
as
can
usual.
be. Yeah, it can be.
Yeah, so that sort of ended my chance. There's no way I'm going to get through Violent Delights, I think, without resorting to the hireling. So the next session, I am going to bring in with me a cleric and retry that and see how that goes. Then in Minecraft, I ran week number 2 of the February Mage Rage. Then on tabletop, I finished out the solo con for this week where we had the Alphabet Solo Con Z, where I finished off with Age of Civilization. And I finished that off with 16 points. And let's just say 16 points is not a particularly brilliant result, but I think it's the first time I played it by the actual proper rules. So we could almost think of it as my first play. 16 points I think is not too bad. It's just not quite brilliant. Then I played some Eon Zen with Mist versus Bladius again, and this is my third attempt in this battle. And I was hoping to see if I could win without getting exhausted, because the last time I played that combo, I won, but I was exhausted. So this time I thought, let's see if I can do it. And the minions all came out together and trampled on top of me and sent me into a pulp. So that didn't work. And then we had a start of a new solo con, working on it. Now the theme is supposed to be worker placement games, but
Okay.
they did give one little exception there, and that is you could earn points by playing a game that had some heart components. So a component shaped like a heart. And it so happens that in One Deck Dungeon, it's not a worker placement game by any stretch of the imagination, but One Deck Dungeon does have a component shaped like a heart. Its life tokens are heart shaped. So I decided to start out. It was Valentine's Day, of course, because that's why I chose that particular one. So I played that, and as was the last time I played One Deck Dungeon, I became Dragon Food again. Yeah, that's what happens. So that was the solo con, and that ends my week in gaming. We currently have 14 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to help support DDO players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find rewards, including a mention on the podcast of your choice, or even be guest with us for an episode of DDO Players News. We did not receive any emails this week, but if you'd like to send us one, you can send it to podcast@ddoplayers.com. You could also follow us on Twitter, the Players Alliance @Players Ally, DDO Players @DDO Players, Dracula @Dracula_72, and Piney @PineyFeels. You can follow Drac on Twitch @Dracula_72. The Players Alliance has 2 shows on Mondays at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. We have DDO Players News, and on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Lotra Players News. You can choice for our live shows at ddoplayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight. And this is Pilot Noodles reminding you to quest responsibly.